Hey guys, welcome back. I was in deep study of the Psalms for the past few days, and I found something incredible. It's like a secret to the Psalms, but it's more than that, all right? But I wanted to share that with you. I thought I had no intention of making a video on Psalms, but when this came up, I realized I had to share it, okay? Because I don't always share all my studies, but this is really amazing, okay? So, you know that the Psalms or the Sepher Tehillim or the Book of Praises is divided into 5 books. And many, Hebrew scholars say that it's a reflection of the 5 books of the Torah, the Pentateuch, okay, which is basically Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And these 5 books of the Psalms are divided accordingly. The Genesis book of 41 Psalms, okay, from Psalm 1 to 41. Then you have the Exodus book from Psalm 42 to 72. You have the Leviticus book from Psalm 73 to 89. You have the Numbers book of 17 Psalms from Psalm 90 to 106. And the Deuteronomy book of 44 Psalms from Psalm 107 to 150. Okay. Now, in my complete Jewish study Bible, it also gives us that this is the outline it gives us. Okay. So basically you have deliverance songs, all right, from 1 to 41. Then you have divine judgments, that's 42 to 72. Then you have the national hymns of Yehuda, which is Judah, national hymns of Judah, which is 73 to 89. Then you have God's Great Kingdom, 90 to 106. You have songs of praise and thanksgiving, 107 to 150. All right, so that's what I put over here. Let me get that. All right, so that's what I put over here, right next to this, okay? So they say it's a reflection of the Torah, the 5 books of the Psalms, all right, or the Sepher Tehillim, all right? Now, you have, in this, there are many ways that, several study Bibles, have sort of defined the subjects of the Psalms, right? So by subjects, you have this list over here, okay? You can pause this and read this, but I'll show you snapshots of a few study Bibles that I have. All right, so over here, wow, this is really tiny. I can barely see it. Okay, so you have praise here, thanksgiving. All right, then you have. I better zoom this because I can't really make out what this is. Hang on. My side. Oh yes, you have trust. All right, you have trust, you have wisdom, you have Zion, you have MESSIANIC, you have God is King, you have Royal Psalms, you have, I think this is, this is, again, I'm going to zoom this out. My goodness, my eyesight is getting bad. Lament and imprecations. Okay, this is from the NLT Illustrated Bible. All right, so these are and you have Zion. All right, so these are how they've categorized it. Now, in my Dake's study Bible, this list, okay, of Psalms by subjects, I added all this up: 9, 19, 20, 1, 11, 24. You can see this. So it had one Psalm missing because the total added up to 149. And you know I'm a math geek, okay? So I circled the different Psalms and I found out that Psalm 62 is missing. So if you have a Dix, you can change this because, over here it says 6 Psalms of trust. Palms. Sorry, 6 Psalms of trust. All right, it should be 7 Psalms because Psalm 62 is a Psalm of trust. All right, and so you can change that. In my Dix, it's on page 1027. So you can just add Psalm 62 to this list, and then you'll get a total of 150 Psalms. All right. So, and then of course we, they have this categorization. All right, this is from my NIV Faith Life. So you have enthronement, historical, corporate lament, you have individual, pilgrimage, royal, songs of Zion, temple entry, thanksgiving, wisdom, praise. All right, but what I want to share with you is not this. Okay, this is there. It's pretty general. It's in most study Bibles, and I'm sure if you want to study Bible, you would have seen this before. Okay, what I want to share with you is something really amazing that came up. Okay, that was this. All right, so you have 9 acrostic psalms. All right, if you don't know what acrostic means, I'll just share that with you. Hang on, I have it open somewhere. So acrostic is basically a poem, a word puzzle, or other composition in which certain letters in each line form a word or words. Okay, so you can see this if you have waves, all right, like waves on a shore. So you can also write it as waves ashore, volumes of water, ebb and flow on sandy beaches. Okay, so that's an acrostic. All right, so you have 9 acrostic psalms, all right, in total. All right, and it's listed as Psalm 9, 10, 25, 34, 37, 111, 112, 119, and 145. All right, the 8th acrostic psalm is Psalm 119. All right, because it has this 22 alphabetical stanzas, okay, with 8 verses each. So it has Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, so on and so forth till Tav. And each of the stanzas has 8 verses each. So you have 22 total alphabets in Hebrew into 8 verses. The psalm is 176 verses long. Okay, now most of you know that. But did you know the moment I went into deeper study, all right, and I suddenly remembered that I've seen this 176. Where have I seen it? And then I remembered, okay, that I had seen this when I was studying this ancient mathematical hyperdimensional square. All right, this is an amazing square because if you add all the numbers, in the square, if you go this way, it's 15. If you go this way, it's 15. If you go diagonally, it's 15. All right, but the most important thing is why it's hyperdimensional is because if you add the dimension of 2 numbers or 3 numbers, it becomes like what can I say, a hyperdimensional square. All right. Incidentally, if you go clockwise from here, okay, let's take 2 numbers at a time. So 49 plus 27, 49 plus 92 plus 27 plus 76 plus 61 plus 18 plus 83 plus 34, you get 440. All right. Let's go anti-clockwise. 29 plus 94 plus 43 plus 38 plus 81 plus 16 plus 67 and plus 72, you get 440 again. Okay, diagonally. Okay, so you go 45, all right, plus 65, then you go 54 plus 56, then you go 85 plus 25, okay, then you go 58 plus 52, you get 440. All right, then in the cross. All right, so let's take this 95 plus 51, okay, plus 15 plus 59 plus 35 plus 57 plus 75 plus 53, you get 440 again. These are the 4 ways that you can calculate the sum of these numbers, okay, and each time you get 440. All right, and 440 into 4 is 1760. Now I remember this because when I was studying this particular ancient mathematical square, which has been around for centuries, it's like goes all the way back to the to the oldest civilizations. But I also realized that this was what they had used. This is what, a lot of scholars and mathematicians say they used to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay, now, so the Great Pyramid of Giza, okay, each base side was 440 cubits. Okay, so each base side of the pyramid, there are 4 bases and it goes up like that. So each base side was 440 cubits. And this was the square that was used. All right, this is what all, it's an ancient, I would say a timeless square, and it's embedded in Psalm 119. All right, because so this is what I'm saying, okay? Hence Psalm 119 with 176 verses contains and reveals the hyperdimensional integrity of the ancient mathematical square. All right, this 3 by 3 square I showed you, along with the 10 commandments. Okay, now this was a study I'd done some time ago, in fact quite a while ago, okay? So here goes, that the 10 commandments are thus modeled on this ancient 3 by 3 number square. All right, because the first commandment is actually not a commandment, it is a statement of fact. Number 1, I am the Lord thy God. There's no commandment in that, but that is a statement of fact. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this 10 is taken as a 1. Okay, these are commandments. No other gods before me, no graven images. Not take the Lord's name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. These are the commandments from number 2 to number 10. And I told you in this, we take the 1 in this. So and this is something a lot of mathematicians have already checked, and they say that the 10 commandments were also, this hyperdimensional square is embedded in the 10 commandments. All right. And now I'm going to show you how this hyperdimensional square is actually in the first verse. It's embedded in Genesis 1:1. Okay. Because what does it say in Genesis 1:1? Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim va et haaretz. Okay. So it's in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay. Now this has a value, okay, in gematria, this sentence in the beginning. All right. This entire sentence, Genesis 1:1, has a value of 2701. All right. Many scholars have done work on this, so this is not something that is debatable. All right. It just take it as a fact that it has a value of 2701. All right. Now we also know that Jesus and Christ is 37 and 73. Okay, if you take the Hebrew letters. All right. And 37 into 73 is also 2701. Okay. So you have 37 into 73 is 2701. The whole of Genesis 1:1 is also 2701. Now I'm going to show you something amazing. Okay. Over here, this hyperdimensional square. All right. If you add these numbers around the central square, like 4 plus 9 plus 2 plus 7 plus 6 plus 1 plus 8 plus 3, yeah, you get 40. All right. If you add them 2 at a time, overlapping the numbers as we did before, right? Like 49 plus 92 plus 27 plus 76 plus 61 plus 18 plus 83 plus 34, you get 440. Okay, we've just done that. Now add them 3 at a time, overlap the 4 sets of triple numbers around the outer square, this outer square, okay? All right, so you get here 492 plus 276 plus 618 plus 834, right? You get 2220, all right? Now if you add the three bases, all right, you get 40, okay, with taking one number at a time. Taking 2 numbers at a time, you get 440. Taking 3 numbers at a time, you get 2220. If you add this, you get 2700, all right? And if you add the cornerstone, because this is the base, right? If you add the cornerstone, that's 1, because there's only 1 on top, which is the cornerstone, which is our Lord Jesus Christ. You get 2701. Now tell me, isn't that mind-blowing? Yeah? So you take that square, which I've shown you is also there in the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was 440 cubits. Okay, every base length was 440 cubits. And over here, where you have the triangle, the Trinity, you have, it's just amazing to see how this hyperdimensional square fits into, all of this. All right. So now I'm going to show you something else, which is, hang on, let me go up there. So now we can clearly see, okay, that Psalm 119 and Bereshit have the hyperdimensional square embedded in them, along with the 10 commandments, right? And while I was doing the study, I also found this interesting random find, and we'll come back to that a little later, okay? Very interesting. It fits right in with whatever we're being shown now, right? So here goes. This is what was so amazing that, in Psalm 119, in order to reach verse 153, Okay. Now, this is the longest psalm. All right. The second longest is Psalm 78, which has 72 verses. All right. But in Psalm 119, in order to reach verse 153, the 153 fish of John 21, we transition from the 8th verse in the 19th Hebrew alphabet, Kof, to the first verse in the 20th Hebrew alphabet, Resh, which is also there in Bereshit in Genesis 1:1. Okay. Now, this is something amazing, brothers and sisters, because I'm gonna take you to you know ESV, all right, because these are not mentioned in KJV, all right, but this is there in ESV, NIV, etc. All right. So Qaf has 8 verses, all right. Qaf is the 19th Hebrew alphabet, all right. Now to transition from Qaf to Resh, the 153rd verse is the first word of the 20th alphabet, which is Resh. All right. Now, what's amazing about this is the fact that you have, the 19th Hebrew alphabet, okay, and the 20th Hebrew alphabet, or 1920. Read right to left, as in Hebrew, we get 2019. So this 153rd verse, okay, verse 153, goes from the 8th verse, that's the final verse of the 19th Hebrew alphabet, Kof, to the first verse of the 20th Hebrew alphabet, Resh. All right. And this is amazing to see, because I'll tell you. Now take a look at this. Okay. Kof is basically the back of the head. It also means behind the last or the least. Resh, okay, is the head, and it means person, head, highest. Okay. But if you go deeper into study of the Hebrew alphabet, you'll find, let me take this up, okay, that Qaf or Qua, okay, this is all the symbolism behind, from ancient Hebrew to the modern Hebrew, okay. The 19th alphabet means the sun on the horizon, circle, sun, time, behind, last, final. Brothers and sisters, this is amazing. And this Resh is the man's head. Okay, in Bereshit, this is the man's head. Okay, this was a pictogram of the man's head. Now in modern Hebrew, it is written like a 7. All right. But that means captain, authority, chief, a person, the highest. It's basically pointing to Jesus. All right. But look at this, brothers and sisters. Qaf, the 19th letter. All right. Sun on the horizon, circle, sun, time, behind, last, final. Everything that we are being shown, right? The circle, the full circle, 360 degrees. We saw that there was, the anagram for Hierophant was the final eclipse. The final eclipse, right? We have the 153, the 513 here. Oh, and I have to show you that too. Okay, going back to the 513, the find, the random find, right? Okay, but before we do that, also Qaf plus Resh is 100 plus 200. Okay, because Qaf, the value is 100, Resh, the value is 200, right? So Qaf plus Resh is 300. 300 is also the value of Shin, which resembles a crown, but stands for teeth, consume, and destroy, right? Let me show you that. Yeah. So take a look at this. So you have Qaf, all right? That's a value of 100. You have Resh, the value of 200. So that combines to give us Shin, okay, which is also the value of 300. But because 100 plus 200 is 300, that is eat, consume, destroy. Al Shaddai, okay, the highest, a rock, Jesus. Okay, so these two combine to give us this. So do you see where do you see what I'm pointing to? Right? So this is a random note, but I think it's important for us to know, right? So in Psalm 19, Psalm 119, to reach verse 153, you have to go from Kof to Resh. All right. And this is what we also get. All right. We also get 19, okay, because it's the 19th Hebrew alphabet, Kof, to Resh, which is the 20th. So written right to left, we get 2019, all right, which is amazing. The 153 fish go up in 2019, all right. So here is what I had mentioned to you, that the circle sun time behind last final. I mean, this is like just crazy stuff, right? Okay, now coming back to the 513, all right. So what I found was that in connection with the fourth day is equal to 513 in our formula from 888, right? You have kephas, all right, which is 57 Greek ordinal from John 142. So I'll just take you there. Now in John 142, and he brought him to Jesus, who Andrew brought him to Jesus, okay? And when Jesus beheld him, he saw Peter, he said, "Thou art Simon, the son of Jonah, thou shalt be called Cephas," which is by interpretation a stone. So he's not calling him Petros here, he's calling him Cephas. Okay, so there's so much depth in the Bible, because this was not done randomly, and I'll show you how. Okay, so you have Cephas. All right, the value is 57. Now if you multiply it by 9, now the number 9 is used in the Bible 49 times. Jesus died at the 9th hour, and after his resurrection, he appeared 9 times to his apostles. Number 9 is a symbol of completeness of God and also a symbol of finality. Okay, so you have 57 into 9 is 513, all right, which links to our fourth day. And we also see the ordinal sum of Peter's confession to Christ from Matthew 16:16. Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. This sentence adds up to 513. Amazing, isn't it? So we have that, okay? So we have the 513 connecting with the 153 because the next transition after 513 is 153, which we find only in Psalm 119. You don't have verse 153 in any other psalm, right? And what a surprise that it goes from Kof, which is the 19th Hebrew alphabet, to Resh, the 20th Hebrew alphabet, and we get 2019. And when we add Kof and Resh, in terms of value, we get 300, which is also the value of Shin, which resembles a crown, but it stands for teeth and consume and destroy. So I hope you're seeing this, brothers and sisters, that how there's so many secrets in the Psalms that are being revealed. And I thought this study was just awesome, as well as, what I saw here, that this amazing, this ancient square, all right, this is embedded in the Ten Commandments. It's embedded in Genesis 1:1, all right. I've just shown you that, how it's embedded in Genesis 1:1, because that adds up to 2701, this entire sentence, okay. In Hebrew, it adds up to 2701. And it also means Jesus Christ, okay, because you have 37 into 73 is also 2701. And I've shown you how this works out to the base, okay, the 3 bases and the cornerstone, the 1. So you have 2701, the cornerstone. And now we can link it all to our Psalm 119, which has 176 verses. And you have this ancient mathematical hyperdimensional square embedded in this. Now, another point of interest is that, I don't know, recently somebody had told me, that they found a cube, the same square in the Georgia Guidestones. And this square was given and people couldn't figure out what it meant, but I immediately saw it because, well, I'm a math geek. I've become a math geek. And I saw what it meant. So it was there in the Georgia Guidestones. It was kept on top of the corner It was there in the corner. This cube with these numbers was there on the Georgia Guidestones as well. All right. So obviously, I mean, this is something most mathematicians know. All right. Not that I'm a mathematician, but I'm getting there. So this is what this whole thing comes to, the 176 verses, right? And our ancient square. Okay. So you have 1760 in that. That's pointing us to the ancient square, which is embedded in the Ten Commandments. All right. It's embedded in Psalm 119. And it is also, it's so beautiful to see how it's embedded in Genesis 1:1. All right. And then this, this, my random find while I was studying, I found this, the 513, what it has to do with Kephas, with Peter, and 9, the number of finality. Okay. And this, whoever confesses the name on that great day will be saved, right? Thou art Christ, the Son of the living God. Day 4, 513. Okay. And before we go there, this was extraordinary, right? The 19th Hebrew alphabet, sun on the horizon, circle, sun, time behind, left behind, last, final generation. Amazing, amazing stuff, guys. So I thought I had better come and share this with you, because this is what it's all about, right? And now I can see very clearly that Psalm 119 is the only psalm, all right? Sorry for moving this around, but it's the only psalm that has verse 153. And to get to verse 153, you have to go from 19 to 20. And in Hebrew, read from right to left, it is 2019. So we haven't long to go. 2019 is almost over. As I record this, we are on the 17th of December here in India. And I'm looking at this, 26th of December, and also the 4th day, post 26th of December. It could happen on the 4th day of Hanukkah, or we could go on this day, the 4th day of Hanukkah, or we might have to wait for 4 days because, the 4th day after 888, this is 888. And the 4th day from 888 would bring us to 513, which transitions into 153. But it's all happening in 2019. Do you see that? I hope you can see that. And I hope you guys realize how everything, that we've been looking at, look at this, the 360th day, the full circle, right? The third time pi, 717 occurs in pi is 888. This is the 888 day from the cloud prophecy. It's just amazing. And now I get to see all this, in my study. This is what I find out. I think it's really pretty amazing, don't you? All this amazing stuff. So anyway, I'll say bye for now. Hope you enjoyed this study. And I'll try and leave some study notes, but I think it's fairly obvious, right? So I'll say bye now, and God bless you guys. Keep looking up. Our redemption draweth nigh.